Announce and say goals. Junior saved the day for Arsenal. People deluded. I'm back again. Now, as you can see via the title, in our first game for the under 21s or Arsenal's under 21s against Newport, they came back from behind. They stole it at the death against Newport and they've won 2-1. Now, in relation to this cup competition that they're in, I believe we go top of the group. I think we're above Cardiff, who we've got to face on goal difference. Obviously, I'm not sure on who our next game is or the next fixture, but if they don't turn around and go and win that, then obviously they've secured safe passage to the knockout stages. You lot know I'm a big fan of youth content, and if you're watching this, you are as well. I do think the youth system is kind of flawed in the academies in England. I would love for them to take a leaf out of Spain's book and, simply put, have the under 21s enter like real men's league, playing against, grown men, experienced individuals where it means something. I don't think academy football prepares you for that, which is why I'm excited when our players are exposed to cup competition against grown individuals, people, grown men trying to pay mortgages, all of those kind of things. And I think there's a lot of tests or there's a lot of things that happen in 90 minutes at youth football, whether that's not being switched on, overplaying, playing a stray pass, not being in the right position in any certain phase of play. These things don't go unpunished at youth level where you're playing against the same players. In the full game, it does. And I also believe a lot of these players of all these academies, they've played against each other for years. You get into that scenario where you're familiar with people's game, you're faster than everyone, you're stronger than everyone, you're quicker upstairs. It don't really help you. And if I'm completely honest, Sagoe Jr, he shouldn't be playing. He should be playing at this level in terms of grown men's football against other grown men, but he shouldn't be with the under 21s, man. That guy's a very talented young player. I think he's of Ghanaian descent, so I'd be surprised if, international teams, depending on his heritage, aren't sniffing around him, people. And I'll be shocked if in January, if he's not getting some level of interest, either a permanent transfer or a loan transfer to, teams playing proper football, and it started off terribly for us. There's a lot of lessons to learn. In fact, terrible is an exaggeration. I think it was a culture shock for our midfield because, they were snapping in a fair way. They were snapping into them tactically. I think Newport were good. Obviously, Duziak, forgive me for mispronunciation, got caught on the ball like a minute into the game. They've gone and scored. Our boys could have curled into a ball, cowered, felt sorry for themselves, but they didn't. I did feel the first 10 minutes was a bit of a culture shock. We were trying to find our feet, couldn't really knock the ball about. After that, we grew in stature. Sagoe Jr.'s getting on it. Annous is dropping deep. I think we kind of starved Ferdinand on the right-hand side. Josh Nichols is doing what he can. Tommy Setford in goal as well. Another one, kind of what I'm saying about Sagoe Jr. in that, bro, he needs to be playing grown men's football because in terms of the ball playing and all of that kind of stuff, he can do it. You can see why he's at Arsenal. You can see why he travels with the first team and things like that. And you can see why maybe he has a future at the club. But yeah, first 10 minutes, I give it to Newport. We grew in confidence. We was purring. We was doing our thing. I think it was a bit of an even contest. We had some half chances around the hour mark, around the half hour mark. There was one incident, Sagoe Jr.'s picked the ball up from the left-hand side, tried dance past everyone, and it's not quite come off. So we were getting into it, and I think the manager can only give you so much in it. Like the manager, they're going to prepare you in the best way. But I think as a player at all levels, you have to feel it. And I think the players in their own individual ways, all the 11 and the subs, but all the 11, they grew in confidence. They started to play. They started to give back a couple of the tackles, started to gamble a bit, and they grew in confidence. And, beyond the first 10 minutes, closing out like, I'd say from minute 10 to 45, there was really nothing in it. There was a couple of unpunished errors when we was playing out from the back and Newport picked our pockets that went unpunished. So as I said, there's a lot to learn, which is why I like these young players out of their comfort zone. But yeah, we went into halftime, if I can remember correctly, we went into halftime a goal down. I think we started off the second half great. Annous is starting to take a bit more responsibility. He's pulling out to the left, a bit like what you see Gyökeres do at first team level and trying to link up where he can with Sagoe Jr. And the first penalty, which he ultimately missed, I don't know if it's a penalty. I didn't see it were to Arsene Wenger. Some would say justice has been restored because he missed that. Showed big bollocks to, win a second one in similar vein. Why these grown men for Newport are sliding in the box, I don't know. But he stepped up. He's taken the second penalty, not cowered away. Bagged it. It's 1-1 at this moment in time. And I must admit, I do think the second half was all Arsenal. I wouldn't say we put them under sustained pressure like they're living dangerously, but I think we were the better team. We're moving it quicker. We're growing in confidence. Josh Nichols mistimed the tackle and got a yellow, but it seems that we're on it. And then obviously, long story short, just in the dying embers of the game, genuinely, when I thought the game was done, it's 1-1. Sagoe Jr., it's not going to be his most amazing finish, but it'd probably be one of the most important goals he will score this season, as he's reacted well from close range. In the 89th minute, I believe, he snatched it, and that's got to be a kick in the teeth for Newport. It's amazing for us. And for us, that is kind of the street smartness that you would have thought Newport would have shown, because they're significantly more experienced. They were a bit stronger. Every midfielder, I think, that started for Arsenal kind of struggled in that regard. Felt a bit sorry for Ibrahim. I think he grew in confidence as the game went on. Marley Salman made a couple of very good tackles, and obviously he's 15, 16. You can see he's a bit raw and he's not quite ready for extended first team football. But literally, if he just polished up one, two things, which again, it comes with age, real good prospect there, really, really and truly. Very good prospect. It was interesting seeing Josh Nichols inverting as well. Liked how Washington and Clark played as well. Think they were quite smart in defense, didn't take any risks where they didn't need to. So I think it was all in all a great collective team performance. I want to make sure I don't want to miss out anything, people. 51st minute, I thought Annous would have scored as well, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Maybe he can work on his penalties. But yeah, man, I think we had a strong second half and we ultimately deserved it. I think it was a good tactical, technical, and physical test for these boys. Ultimately, they're outside of their comfort zone. As I've mentioned, Sago's touches were amazing. Setford for me needs to go on loan. We couldn't, in the first half, in terms of improvements, I've got it here on my notes. I don't think we really got our midfield into the game or gave them the ball in positions where they could do much. And to be fair, I like how we showed courage. We got caught on the ball a lot, but we kept sticking to our principles, if I'm brutally honest, man. So yeah, I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with it. Duziak, forgive me for mispronunciation, learning curve. He's caught on the ball, he's appealing for a foul. It's not a foul as well. They've gone down the other end and scored. Obviously, for these boys, they want to be playing in the Premier League, in the Champions League, in League One, Championship, League Two, any top division. These are lessons that you make these mistakes at first team level as a young player or somewhat experienced player. The manager might leave you out the team. So this is why I like seeing these young players at this level against grown men, where they're going to be outside their comfort zone, where things are happening quickly. Youth Academy don't necessarily prepare you for that. But yeah, man, our attackers saved the day. The future looks bright at Arsenal. Let's try to bring this cup home. It's as simple as that.